Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Syncom changed the world. It changed global satellite communications and created the networks we have today.
I was hoping it would provide a revolution in international communications. I think it brought the world closer together. I was working in the radar department under Frank Carver at Hughes. One of our major radar programs was canceled. And Frank Carver asked me to think about something we could do. And I asked Tom for some suggestions. So Tom said, let's work on a communication satellite.
Something I never ever expect to get involved with in the first place, and I was really feeling pretty lucky most of the time.
At that time, it was impossible to get live television from across the oceans, and telephony itself was very expensive.
Prior to Syncom, there were 72 voice circuits across the Atlantic. The cost of a transatlantic call was an outrageous amount of money. Harold Rosen had the idea that you could build a satellite and position it in geosynchronous orbit and control it. This was, at the time, not at all the conventional wisdom.
People didn't believe that it was practical to create such a platform that could be launched at that time. I know Tom felt we could, and I felt we could. The first thing we needed was some financial support from the company. Don Williams, Tom Hudspeth, and myself decided to try to do it on our own. And we did put up our own personal funds and tried to collect other people's money. We weren't greeted with a lot of enthusiasm by the bankers we talked to. I really think they thought we were crazy. The company finally came through with an investment that allowed us to build this prototype. We started building in April of 1960. Tom was in charge of all the electronic developments for the satellite. I may have been the technical manager of this, but I had a very easy job because I would just say, Tom, this is what we need, and he would do it.
These specs always turned out to be something that seemed to me just almost impossible, but somehow or other it was just possible.
When we started on Syncom, I think the solar cell efficiency was about 10%. And now some of the efficiencies are about 27%, I think. And that combined with the larger solar panels allows us to have huge powers, more than 10 kilowatts in some of our satellites. And a lot of that improvement was generated by Spectrolab. They have a remarkable development capability there. There was another element, a very important element in our system that deserves mention, which is the traveling wave tube. The TWT was really revolutionary. It was done by another colleague of ours, John Mendel. He did the design for it. The Electron Dynamics Division is now called, pioneered the first one and then the evolution of them. It was really exciting to be working on a project which obviously was going to be extremely important.
There are those who think that we've gone as far as we can go with satellite technologies. The satellite industry is just at the start of a new renaissance. We are seeing a real explosion in demand that comes out of things like homeland security and defense applications. Military expenditures will lead to new applications and new services that will drive the commercial market downstream. It's an extremely exciting time for the satellite industry. Just as Henry Ford transformed the automobile industry, I think it was Harold Rosen and his team that really transformed the satellite industry. It brought on a satellite revolution that has changed the way we communicate, the way global entertainment is distributed, the way we get global news, the way we carry on homeland security and defense applications. electronic diplomacy and the whole structure and fabric of global trade. I believe it will make a huge impact in the 21st century. Looking back, it all began with Syncom.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Boy.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
13 members of the Israeli team as hostages.
The whole world of communications has just evolved and affects everything, affects every aspect of our lives. And it's already fantastic, and it can be even more fantastic in the future.